You have probably seen it happen in seconds. A pinch of yellow powder hits oil or steam, and suddenly the whole dish looks warmer, deeper, more alive. A little gets on your fingers and stays there. A streak lands on the spoon, the cutting board, or the edge of the counter and leaves a mark far stronger than something so ordinary seems like it should. That is part of what makes turmeric strange. Why does this small kitchen ingredient carry such a powerful color? And why has it appeared not only in food, but also in stories about healing, ritual, and tradition? By the end of this video, you will understand what turmeric really is, how it traveled so far, and why it was never just a yellow powder sitting quietly in the kitchen. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Before it became powder, it was a root in the ground. To understand that powder, we have to go backward, past the jar and into the soil. What ends up in the kitchen begins as part of a tropical plant called Curcuma longa, a leafy plant in the same family as ginger. And that connection makes sense because turmeric does not come from a seed or a leaf. It comes from a rhizome, an underground stem that looks a lot like knobby ginger root. Fresh turmeric is earthy, slightly bitter, and surprisingly fragrant, with a sharpness that does not fully survive once it is dried and powdered. The plant grows best in warm, humid climates, which is one reason turmeric has been cultivated for centuries across South Asia, especially in India. After harvest, the rhizomes are cleaned, usually boiled or cured, then dried and ground into the bright yellow powder most people recognize. That process matters. Turmeric is not an accidental color that somehow ended up in food. It is a material people learned to grow, handle, preserve, and transform with intention. The powder is not the beginning of the story. It is the final form of something older, earthier, and much more physical than the spice jar suggests. Long before wellness trends, turmeric already had a life. Long before turmeric was blended into lattes or packed into capsules, it already held a place in daily life across South Asia, especially in India. And that place was never limited to the kitchen. It appeared in rituals, in wedding ceremonies, in forms of blessing and purification, and in traditions of healing that did not separate food, body, and daily life as sharply as modern culture often does. Its yellow color helped give it that role. It did not simply look bright. Over time, it came to suggest cleanliness, protection, good fortune, and prosperity. That meant turmeric could season food, but it could also carry meaning. It could be part of a meal, part of a household remedy, or part of a ceremony in which the body itself was marked and blessed. In some traditions, it was applied directly to the skin. In Ayurvedic practice, it was used for wounds, inflammation, digestive problems, and infections. This was not because people had isolated one famous compound and built a brand around it. It was knowledge carried through observation, repetition, and lived experience. So turmeric did not begin as a trend. It began as something woven into life from several directions at once. It already had significance long before modern language tried to sell that significance back to people. The root that refused to stay local, turmeric, did not remain where it began. Like many useful things, it moved. As trade routes stretched across Asia and into the Middle East and Europe, turmeric traveled with merchants, healers, and explorers. It was valued not only for flavor, but also for color. Its pigmentation was so strong that in some places it was used as a dye for fabrics. In others, it became known as an ingredient that could transform how food looked as much as how it tasted. When Europeans encountered it, some compared it to saffron and even called it Indian saffron because of its rich yellow tone. But turmeric never truly replaced saffron, and it did not need to. The two were different in origin, price, and status. Instead, turmeric found a place of its own. It was more affordable, more accessible, and easier to fold into everyday cooking. That is part of what makes its journey interesting. Some ingredients spread because they are rare and luxurious. Turmeric spread for a different reason. It was useful. It could do many jobs. It fit easily into ordinary life. And sometimes that is exactly how a simple thing travels the farthest. The color that changed how people saw the root. What most people notice first about turmeric is not the flavor. It is the color. A pinch can turn a pot of rice golden. A little can tint a sauce, a stew, or a broth. The same intensity that makes it beautiful in food is also what makes it easy to remember when it lands on skin or cloth. Today we know that much of that color is tied to a compound called curcumin. Curcumin is one reason turmeric has drawn so much attention in modern research. It is often studied for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant potential. But the interesting part is not that turmeric suddenly became important once science began naming its compounds. The more interesting part is that people had already been living with it in practical ways that often made sense long before those explanations became formal. Turmeric has often been used with fat, and in some traditions alongside black pepper. That should not be treated like a miracle formula. It is better understood as something quieter than that. Over time, people noticed what worked, what blended well, and what seemed to help an ingredient do more once it was part of a real meal. Sometimes tradition keeps a form of practical knowledge long before science arrives with the vocabulary to describe it. It does not shout in flavor, but you still notice when it is there. Back in the kitchen, turmeric does something subtle. It does not strike the food the way chili does. It does not announce itself the way garlic can. Its flavor is gentler than that, warm, earthy, slightly bitter, and more about depth than volume. That is why turmeric usually works best not as the center of attention, but as part of the foundation. It gives a dish a sense of warmth even before the first bite. It can make rice look richer, soups feel fuller, and sauces seem more grounded. Sometimes it changes the emotional tone of the food before it clearly changes the taste. The dish looks more comforting, more golden, more complete. And once you notice that, you start seeing turmeric everywhere. It appears in curries, rice dishes, soups, marinades, spice blends, stews, and sauces. It even turns up in places many people do not think about, like mustard, where its role is often more visible than obvious. That is part of turmeric's quiet power. It rarely dominates, it rarely demands attention, but it changes the whole feeling of what is in front of you. Some ingredients become famous because they are intense. Turmeric matters for almost the opposite reason. It slips into the background, and from there, it helps hold the dish together. The old root that got rebranded for modern life. Today, turmeric shows up far beyond the spice jar. It appears in lattes, smoothies, supplements, skincare, and wellness packaging that presents it as if it has just been rediscovered. In one sense, that shift is understandable. Turmeric has a long history of use, and modern interest did not appear from nowhere, but something important changed along the way. In older traditions, turmeric usually lived inside a larger system. It was part of food, part of routine, part of household knowledge, and part of how people cooked and cared for one another. Modern culture often pulls it out of that setting and turns it into a symbol on its own, a single ingredient made to carry the weight of health, purity, or self-improvement. That does not mean the newer interest is fake. It means the framing is different. Turmeric did not become interesting because modern wellness culture placed it under brighter lights. It was already interesting long before that. The biggest change is not in the root itself but in the story wrapped around it. The small rule that makes turmeric make sense. Here is the simplest rule to keep in mind. If turmeric tastes harsh, do not judge it alone. Turmeric usually works better with heat, with fat, and with something else beside it. A little oil, butter, or coconut milk helps carry it through a dish more naturally. So does letting it cook briefly instead of dropping it in at the very end. Most of the time, it does not need to stand in front. It works best when it supports. The goal is not to make a dish taste strongly of turmeric. The goal is to let turmeric add warmth, color, and depth without taking over. On its own, it can feel awkward. Put in the right place, it starts to make sense. The ordinary root that stopped feeling ordinary. So we return to the same small details where we began. The yellow mark on your fingers, the pinch of powder blooming through oil, the quiet way a dish starts to look warmer almost immediately. But by now, turmeric no longer feels like just a kitchen color. It is a root pulled from the ground. It is a pigment strong enough to stain. It is a spice that works through support rather than force. It is a trace of ritual, memory, trade, and care. And it is also a reminder that some of the most ordinary things in our lives carry histories far larger than their appearance suggests. That is what makes turmeric interesting. Not that it needs to be exaggerated, and not that it has to be treated like magic, but that something so familiar can hold so much life inside it. The next time you see that bright yellow powder, you probably will not see just a spice anymore. If this changed the way you see turmeric, subscribe for more stories hidden inside ordinary things. And if there is something simple in your kitchen that has always made you curious, leave it in the comments. There is a good chance it is not as simple as it looks.